Hello and welcome to Monday's programme.
Coming up tonight between now and 6:30.
Good evening. Record numbers of children in Devon and Cornwall are leaving primary school clinically obese.
New figures show Torbay has the highest rate of obesity among Year 6 pupils at almost 19%. It's thought across our region, 19,500 10 and 11-year-olds are dangerously overweight.
The government's long awaited.
Well, the government is expected to publish its latest plan to combat childhood obesity by the end of this month. Let's speak to David Wood, who's in Westminster live for us tonight. So, David, what are we actually expecting to be in that report?
John T, we don't know the exact details.
Next tonight, a family, including a 15-month-old toddler, has been rescued by helicopter after becoming trapped by the tide in Cornwall.
Both the Coast Guard and the RNLI responded to the call-out after they were cut off at Bedruthen Steps and had to be winched to safety. Ellie Pitt has this report.
On to other news from across the region now, and a Devon-based malt producer, which has been in business since 1831, is set to shut in October. Tucker's Malt.
A man who earned more than £1 million after lying his way into 3 top health jobs in the southwest is fighting an attempt to strip him of his assets. 64-year-old John.
Education in Cornwall is about to get a major funding boost. It follows a long run.
Now, as the 1-year anniversary of the Grenfell Tower fire approaches, Truro Cathedral Choir has recorded a special charity single as a mark of remembrance.
72 people died when the London Tower block caught fire on the 14th of June last year. The song Grenfell for Today is the idea of Cornwall Hugs Grenfell, a project which has been organising Cornish holidays for survivors and firefighters in the aftermath. Kathy Wardle has more. That was the sounds of the Truro Cathedral Choir there. Now you're watching ITV News here in the West Country with John T and Kylie. Thanks for joining us this evening. There's plenty more still to come on tonight's programme before 6:30, including...
And straight after us, the ITV News continues at 6:30. Mary Nightingale has the details.
But first, residents of a French village have gathered to pay tribute to an RAF airman from Somerset 77 years after he was killed there during the Second World War.
Ronald Morrison died with his crewmates when their plane crashed into a village in Normandy in 1941. Today, villagers raised a Union flag in the cemetery in remembrance. Chloe Keady has this report. Now let's bring you some more news from around the region, because there are calls for a tick box on the next census so people can identify themselves as Cornish. The county has been recognized.
Now, nearly 120,000 people passed through the gates of the Royal Cornwall Show. That's 8,000 more than last year. Last week's...
And a rare flower at the Eden Project's been causing a big stink today. The Titan arum... No, and I haven't smelt it and I don't really want to.
No.
Now, the countdown to the summer holidays is well underway, with less than 6 weeks to go until schools break up right across the West Country. Devon and Cornwall is, of course, and always plenty good advice on the programme there as well. Now, sailor Sir Robin Knox Johnston returned to Falmouth today, 50 years after he set off to become the first person to sail single-handed, non-stop around the world.
Well, there will be activities across this week to celebrate his historic achievement, including a parade by hundreds of sailors around the harbour. Our reporter Steve Hardy is live in Falmouth for us this evening. Steve, looking lovely there tonight. His legacy still has a real resonance there, doesn't it?
I'm sure he will. Steve, it sounds like everyone's getting involved in this. Just tell us what's going to be happening across the week to mark this anniversary.
Well, it is windy, but looking pretty nice there in Falmouth, wasn't it? Alex has joined us. Is it going to stay like that? I mean, we don't mind a bit of wind if the sun's out like that, do we?
Well, actually, the breeze that we've had across the West Country today has been very much welcome, because we've seen temperatures of 24 degrees Celsius. So it's...
Alex, thank you very much. Now, just before we go, here's a reminder of the main headlines in the West Country this evening. Record numbers of...
That brings us to the close of this evening's programme. I'll be back with the late news at 10:30.
But now I'll hand you to Mary Nightingale as the ITV News continues. From all of us here, enjoy your evening. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.